couple of things I can tell you. Normally, what you want to look for, if you are traveling, is probably primary area is right around the headboard. And you're looking for little spots. They look a little bit darker than a blood spot, kind of a rusty spot. And if you find little areas of that, that's kind of a red flag. Same thing on the ribbing of the mattress. You can kind of check that out. I tell people now, if you have two beds and you're sleeping in one, don't use the other bed as a luggage holder, which I did a lot. I traveled a lot for years. And, people have a tendency to just put their luggage rather than on the luggage rack. They put it on the bed next to it. If there's a couple of, if you've got two queens and you're only using one and that type of thing. And the actual luggage rack, you can kind of move into, some people even move it into the bathroom, put their luggage in the bathroom because they tend to not be in those areas nearly as much. So it's usually right around that bed. So those are a few little things that you can do. When you get home, you can run clothes through a dryer on a hot cycle, and for your own peace of mind and that type of thing. So, and of course, if you do suspect a problem, then you want to go to the hotel manager or whomever and let them know about that so that they can check it out if in fact that's what it is. And typically, if that it turns out to be what it is, they usually treat you very nicely and move you into another room and whatever. So they're very good about reacting. The hotels are and taking care of you. But those are a couple of things you can do to kind of help. Can you think of anything else?
Basically, like when you go into a hotel, you want to go before you put anything on the bed. Go ahead. First thing I do is I put the pillows back, and then I pull the sheets back and try to pull the mattress back from the wall so you can check along that bead.
Up along the headboard.
And then depending on most hotels, the headboard is actually attached to the wall. It's just like a cleat. There'll be a cleat on the wall and a cleat on the headboard. It just goes on there. They're pretty heavy, so if you have two people, you can lift it off pretty easy and check behind there. In hotel rooms, the place where we find the most bed bugs is around the headboard. And in theory, the reason for that is because the beds are getting made every day and everything, and the sheets are being changed. And so the bugs are being disturbed on the mattresses a lot. They don't really like that. So they hide behind the headboard and they still have quick access to their food source. And so whenever I check into a hotel room, which is once or twice a week now, I always pull the headboard off the wall and check it.
You probably have
Plus I have her look
Yeah.
too.
He's got a little advantage there. I was going to say, whoever had the light over here too, if you have a strong light, a little inspection light, it's real good to utilize that in that case, and it makes you sleep a lot better. And if you know all those little things, you can certainly it's not rocket science. You can find it. So. And certainly you can get online and see if you're going to be making a trip or if you just want to be curious and want to see it. There's certainly a lot of, there's pictures and that type of thing online, and they'll tell you how to. We have a presentation. I was going to say with the headboards, I just did a presentation for a large hotel. We go in and do training for the staff so that they know what to look for and so that they feel comfortable that they don't take them home with them too. And the managers were saying that they've had some trouble with headboards falling off because people check the headboards so much now, and they're heavy and they don't get them back on right. So their staff now they're checking those every day because if it doesn't get put on right, and they're pretty heavy, So
if we're good, we have a really chock-full meeting, so I do want to move along.
Yep.
But but this, obviously this is great information, and the more people that live here know this, the better. So we are going to be trying to push this out.
Are we going to get something like a document that we can, include?
yes, I'll put a proposal together with maybe 2 or 3 different options of what we can do to utilize May and the team, and and try to put some pluses and minuses to it, and yes, I'll put that together and I'll try to make it more kind of to the point, bullet point, so that y'all have a lot to look through anyway. So I will get that ready and hopefully before the next meeting you'll have that.
That'd be great.
You know?
Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much.
Yes.
Thank
Thank you.
And that's before we leave,
Oh, well, that's what we're here for.
I mean, I called a lot of bed bug companies, and Barkin was the only ones that were like, we will be there 48, 24 hours.
Yep, thanks.
Thank you. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you.
Okay, so,
Nice to meet you.
so apparently we have some homeowners who'd like to speak, which is great. If we have letters to review, I'm gonna recommend that, unless there's a strong mood to the contrary, that the board choose someone to respond to the letters, so that we don't have to sit here, read the letter, think about it, discuss it, since after all, the person who wrote it apparently is not here. If the person is here, then they can speak to the issue, and we'll respond as we usually do, okay? So if we have letters from people who are not here, I'm going to suggest that we'll respond to those. I'll be happy to respond, or some other member of the board can respond after we discuss it. Is that all right?
See any letters?
Well, I'm just reading, I'm reading the thing that says guest homeowners to speak / letters to review. So then, I guess our first homeowner is from 3055-102. Is that you, Judy?
Oh, yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Okay. You have the floor.
I do, okay. If you'll give this to yourself and the.
All right. Sure. Here you go, Chris.
Thanks.
And you should probably have one. Tyler, did you get one? I did not. And I'll hold on
Alan
to the
back
others.
there.
I'm right here, Bernie.
Alan, you get one?
What I'll do is, can I copy this?
Oh, hey, Dan,
Oops, sorry.
welcome, fella.
Give them a Dan.
You've
Board
got
members
a
to sit
packet in the
together.
office. If you want it. I guess maybe we don't, I think Judy made only enough copies for the people she knew, the board members that were here.
Be 6 or
Are
something.
there 6?
I've got one extra.
We need
Oh, good. Why don't you give that to Barney? To Barney, Dan.
Dan.
He's right here.
He's gonna go get it.
Okay, first I want to thank you, the board, and you're all spread out, so it's hard for me to see you all. But I want to thank you for the 84-degree pool temperature, because many years ago, when I first came 13 years ago, it took about 4 years to get it increased by just 2 degrees. And sometimes it gets overheated, and that's not good, but it's been very constant and clear. And I swim every other day, and it's just really important to me. So I want to thank you, because I know somebody on the board who didn't maybe understand about the need brought it up as a cost-saving measure, but I would rather save somewhere else personally.
And as another member of the board who swims, and I swim somewhere else now, but when I was swimming here, I loved a little bit, right at the ideal temperature.
84
You won't
degrees.
overheat if you swim a mile, but
Perfect.
it's not freezing.
These bulletin boards that Barney put in when he first came is really helpful. We don't have to ask the office for stuff that's important, like speaking and complaint forms and all of that, and the community news. So I really appreciate that. And then the website, which he had to show me how to access it, because I've been asking for the annual meeting minutes for about 6 months, because I missed the meeting. I was out of state. And he showed me that it's on the Remington Post.info. And so that is really helpful, and we've worked a long time asking for that kind of thing. So I'm suggesting that that be put at the end of the monthly billing to notify people of things like that, whether it's email as I get or snail mail. It's an opportunity. We already pay the postage. So to inform people about that they can get the minutes in the annual meeting also. Okay. I've made an alert here just today that on the agenda, there's something about a drain behind my building. And I just want to be sure that you know that a French drain was put in about 8 years ago. I had water coming up to my door, and so they put in a French drain, so where's Barney?
I'm right here, yeah.
So were you aware of that,
I
Barney?
am, but it's not working.
Okay, but just so you know, it was done.
There's a letter from an engineer in the package, there's a big problem
Terrific,
with
okay.
the building.
All right. Okay, I have the three, because the form I filled out gave us a chance to have 3 questions. So my first one is regarding subcommittees. Will you use the knowledge and expertise offered and work with homeowners who sign up for subcommittees to address the major concerns facing Remington Post now? Some of us are very concerned about the grounds, and so I'm asking that possibly October 20th, that the board help to support a work day. I talked to Barney, he said he could supply materials, and that's a way that we can, as homeowners, get to know each other and also do something. And, excuse me, some of you know cigarette butts are a big deal for me. And we can at least pick them up, and as we're doing that, we can talk to each other about how to work with that issue here. And I wrote down fallen branches, the cottonwood tree drops little. Anyway, there are just lots of things that we could do that would be easy and fun. And I included the wooden posts on the front of people's porches because they have been peeling for a long time. And it seems to me that would be simple, to do a little bit of sanding and a little bit of painting down low. So those are ideas, and I have a sign-up sheet here that if people would be willing to say, yes, I will support and I will come, and I arbitrarily chose October 20th, like 9 to 1. And, anyway, that's one thing. Number 2, to improve communication and sense of community, will you please, A, create an HOA membership directory? The one thing that the assessment has brought out is the people needing to talk to each other, and we don't really know how to get in touch. And it's not just that, it's in general, we would like to be in communication and create better community. So, it's my understanding that maybe that's going to be a new Colorado law, starting in January, that homeowners, HOAs have to provide. I don't know. And B, I would like for us to use the monthly billing to actually inform people, and if we're in question about something, put it in there, and then people can respond, either email or call or whatever. And the C is a nominating committee, because over the years we get, we need to be looking for people with the expertise that the board needs. And what I find is that people don't really know who's running, and anyway, I just would like us to have an official nominating committee and maybe put that in the bylaws when those get revised. And that would be one of the subcommittees. And the third one is, are you willing to work with a homeowners subcommittee on management to begin a transition to a new and creative style of leadership that includes professional oversight? This is $1 million per year with our homeowners dues, plus the assessment is another $1 million. It's a lot of money for amateurs to be dealing with. So that's my question. Are you willing to work with people who say they want to give feedback and be a part of this process, suggesting a target deadline of 6 months, the March meeting, maximum of 1 year? And my explanation for that, because I was pretty neutral about management, leaving that to others, but as I have observed in my 13 years, the mismanagement, the not doing work that needed to be done, doing things on the cheap, whatever, has gotten us to this point. And I personally am overwhelmed by all that you all deal with. So you must be overwhelmed. So I learned that the board looked at a person who was a professional, certified HOA manager, and because she asked for $3,000 more than was offered, that she was not considered. So, this